Hello and welcome to another video. Today's video is going to be a continuation of the studio or garage studio setup build for my photography and YouTube studio in the foreseen future. So I have this box here which I created about a year, 2 years ago that holds all my stands, and I'm going to put some wheels under it, and this should really give me some more flexibility in this limited space that I have here. So when I'm taking portrait shots, I can move it to that area or out of the way, or when I'm taking that wall to shoot my YouTube videos, I can move it to the side, in front of the door, or at least out of the way. And I'm gonna clean up some more of the lights and stands which I'm not going to use in the nearby future, that can live inside that box. But first I have to get everything out, put the wheels under it, and then I can see how stable and sturdy it is and easy to move around with everything in it. So yeah, let's get started. Alright, so let's first start with moving some stuff out of the way. These are all foam boards which I use whenever I see fit. They're quite easy, quite light. I can clamp them to stands or anything else really, so they come in really useful, especially for product photography. And I might go through everything in a different video, what I use, what I have. This is my main lighting setup for the Godox SL60Ws, which you can see here. These are all in the kit, not soft boxes, but the lights, the stands, and a couple of other things. So let's get those out of the way for this moment. I'm just going to pile everything in this corner for now. And the main goal is just to get this box emptied out. So I made this box because I was normally shooting in my living room and I wanted something to tidy everything a bit up. Or up a bit. It was standing in the living room and I had to build up and break down everything that I used for every shoot again. I was getting a bit tired of that, so these are some Godox video lights. And I have this nice box right out of screen here now where I can put all my photography accessories. So I'm definitely using that. Most of my square and rectangular soft boxes, I have 2 of them. So these are from one broken side of one of those, so I thought I'd keep them around for now if the same thing or anything else breaks on the other one that I still have. A very dirty mirror at this moment. I really love working with mirrors, especially for product photography. There's so many things you can do with them. Or if you don't have a mirror, just some plexiglass for a reflective surface. Okay, so that should clean out the box. It's still quite heavy. It's all made of quite thick plywood. And I think I might have made it a bit too big. I could have done with half of it or 2/3 eventually, but yeah. When I make something, I'm probably going larger than I need it, just for future use, so to say. To be safe that you can use it or keep using it or extend. Let me bring in the camera a bit closer now. Alright, that should give you quite a good view of what's going on. So I made this box mainly for some paper rolls I had, and every stand, this was even before I had my C stands, so they don't really fit in here, even if I wanted to, but that doesn't matter. They get used the most at this moment. So, and I thought about going 4 wheels on this, but I think for the stability I would put 2 in the center also, just to give it a little bit extra of sturdiness, and yeah, not possible a little bit less possibility to sag in the center. I'm just gonna place those on the corners. I also thought about locking wheels, but I didn't think they could or would be handy for this. I just want to move it around when I can, so yeah. Should be something like that. We have power in the drill, so that's also nice. And it's not quite stable. The tiling in the garage floor here is not level. So. But you can probably see that. That's better, okay. Might want to grab the correct bit for this, because they're Torx screws and not Phillips head. Alright, so I have the correct bit on there now. And for me, these things like building these boxes and doing all that sort of stuff, or rebuilding my garage into a studio, I really like to do that stuff. It just, when you want to do it all, it can be a bit much at sometimes. And especially at this moment, I notice it. I have so many things going on, I almost lose track of half of them, and that's not really a good thing. At least I think. I want to do things properly. But yeah, sometimes I miss doing a certain thing, and for now that's shooting, because I've been way too much focusing on video and those things lately. But the studio hopefully will get me doing that again. Also for the video part and the photography part. I'm just gonna fast forward a couple of these screws so you don't have to watch half an hour of me put a couple of screws into a wooden box. I don't think that's the most interesting content. Or at least that's not what I'm going for. Alright, that was the last screw. So that part's done. Let's get this out of the way. Now the only thing that I'm worried about is this thing tipping over. So when all the wheels are facing each other, that might become an issue, because the footprint will only be half of the box itself. Should still be enough, and when you push it one way, normally the wheels will remain the same distance. So yeah, you might see that some stuff has moved while filming that. Another package arrived. This should be the magnets for the mounting system. So let me open that box real quick so we can take a look at that. A lot of extra stuff. I guess we'll also figure that out in this video. For now, let's move back the camera a bit. Now let's see if we can move the thing back around. It's less stable than it used to be, especially when the wheels are turning around. But overall, I think it will be sturdy enough for everything to not tip over, at least. So let's get back with putting everything in there. The easy thing about building everything together is that you can customize it as you want to. So if these wheels don't seem to work out the way I intend them to, I'll just take them off or put some wider base under it. Yeah. All possibilities are still open on it. And some more paper rolls. I think I can store these in the bag now, because this is a background system which I don't intend to use very often anymore, or at least not here at home. So let's just put them in here so they don't fall over. Plenty of clamps, can't live without these clamps. You just need them. Normally I use these on the bottom of my paper roll to keep it down, and as I mentioned, I now have these magnet things that I ordered to try and keep it down. And I really ordered those because normally when you have a higher ceiling, you can at least let it hang down about 30-40 centimeters or 2 feet or something. So it has some weight on it. I don't have that height here because I need to be able to open the doors and walk around and do all the regular house stuff through my garage. So yeah, for that I have those magnet rolls that I just showed you, and I want to place a magnet on this side and some magnetized strip on the other side, so at least there's some weight on it and I can just hang it until here without the roll getting looser on me. Let's see if we can move this around. That seems to work as intended so far, so that's good. Now let's put some stuff in here, because as mentioned, the background system, I'm not going to use that anytime soon, at least not here. And there's some Westcott backdrop and a few modifiers, and I might want to put an umbrella in here. That should be fine. Could use those. This is just another softbox. I'm really trying to use my C-stands more. Just they're easier to use, smaller footprint, and yeah, you have all your items which you can connect to it. So it's just easier all around. Now let's take the other one. Also put it in there. And this one can go on top. Should be fine. I do want to keep this one around because it's quite useful, especially for bottle photography or when you need a small surface to... It's not easy to be talking while doing that. So I keep this plate around for bottle photography and small product shots. It's very easy to set it up there, and yeah, easy to crop out and shoot like that. To move this one back here. Goes to over there. I'll still switch those to the C-stands. This is a new light that I recently got, and I'm using it most of the time now. This was an investment for myself, just looking what lights are out there and So far it's the best and easiest light setup that I had or used for my video recordings. Let's put this back in there. I'm going to put the lights on the C-stands. I think I'll just put those in the box with my photography accessories and stuff. And these can go in here. Somehow it also feels kind of nice to do this, and it feels like a cleanup session, so that's also good. And the next one. I think as photographers we probably all know this stuff, that you just buy this thing for a certain shoot or just because you like it or you want it, and eventually like C-stands and tripod and light stands and everything, you just have more than you probably need at a certain point. They all have their use cases sometimes, but you don't want to throw them away because they can come in handy for that one shoot or that one thing that you have in your mind somewhere for the future. But yeah, there's nothing wrong with that, it's just that you need the space to store everything. Alright, that's one. And that's two. Alright. Still stable, so that's fine. Let's put these back in here. And I can move those out of the way again. Alright. So that's everything out of the way. Even more space now. So that was what I was going for initially. A few things to put over here, a few things to put back, but let's take a look at these magnetic strips. I ordered a few things. It's mainly this roll of 5 meters by 20 millimeters. So I think that's about 3/4 of an inch thick. And this is also 20 millimeters. And I got 5 of these. These are only 1 meter wide, so that's one thing. Just checking if the camera is recording. So yeah, let's take these out. Let's see if everything works out as planned. So normally this should stick to this, and it does, so that's a good thing. Let's take 1 meter from this one and 1 meter from this one. I'm just going to see if I can cut this with some knife. Alright, so this magnetizes together, and I hope this will provide some weight to the roll that I have there. So let's put it on. I don't know what the easiest way will be to do that, but let's see. I think I'm gonna start with taking off the middle ones. Or like the white side out, so I'm gonna try to lay this in there, and now I have to find out where it starts, and that seems to work nicely. Now let's take off the other two. It seems to put some weight on it, so that's looking good already. Now let's see. I hope it's sturdy enough so it doesn't fall off. I might want to put a few extra spots on the corners just to keep it down a bit more. You didn't sell these in 2-meter parts. So. Well, that was not so handy for me, but I was able to put it on, as you can see. Luckily I didn't film it because that would be way too interesting, but yeah. As you can see, it's pulling the weight of the roll down properly as planned. The only thing that I'm having now is that the corners still roll up. So I'm gonna try to make a few smaller pieces for those sides. And I think I'm just going to cut this one in half. Oh, I should be able to move it to the side, but I think in half would be better. All right. It's always fun to have magnets around. I've been looking for a while for a proper solution for this, and I eventually stuck with magnets. I could have taken some round magnets with some metal rings or something, but I thought it can probably also, when you put weight on either side of the paper or just the corners, it might wrinkle or pull creases in it because the weight is uneven, and also because I'm on this automated band, so to say, or this automated system. I don't want to pull it out of balance or not having the same load on both sides. So that's why I went with this solution, because it seemed most stable, not too much weight, and the most balanced solution that I could find. Alright, so now I have 2 of each. So let's place those on the edges. I think the magnets still have some memory from being on a roll for a while, so they curve a little bit in the end. Should work out fine. Let's do the other side. Trying to stretch them so they're a bit more straight. Alright, now let's see if nothing comes crashing down. And if I can stop it at the right track. Yeah. So this is where it really should help me with the maggots, to just put a little bit of weight on there so it keeps pulling the paper down and not the ability to pull up. And when lowering, it also helps pull it down straight. Yeah, it's a new background. Let's just see. Seems to be some sort of bump in there. I have to check that out maybe. I think these are just twisting the opposite direction. So there's a little crease there. But for now, this seems to be working as intended. And yeah, I'm very happy with that. I should be able to start shooting some images here soon. Just a couple more things to do. As mentioned before, basically the pit has to be supported a bit because it's just a wooden plank and it needs a bit more rigidity or support. for now, those are again two things off the checklist, and that's looking a lot better already. Nice background on me. So yeah, that was it for this video. I hope you liked it. A bit more continuation of the Garage Studio build series. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Like the video if you liked it, subscribe if you want to see more, and everything else that I'm going to do here. And I hope to do some shooting here as well. And yeah, I hope I'll be able to share that with you and maybe create some YouTube videos with the new setup, new background. I still have to figure a bit out on that water side area over there. Mainly where I can place the camera and some sort of table or support. But yeah, all small things, going through them one by one, and hopefully a decent at-home studio soon enough. So like it if you liked it, subscribe if you want to see more, and thank you for watching. Have a very nice day.